Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining us from, and welcome to today's webinar. My name's Liam Brager from the Business Review team, and I'll be your host for today. It's our pleasure to have with us Catalent today, who will be discussing optimized drug delivery technologies. Today's guest speakers are Stephen Tyndall, who's the Director of Softgel Formulation and Site R&D Lead, Norman Stroud, who is our Director of Technology Development, and Julian Messonnier, who is the Director for the R&D platform with RX Softgels. I'd just like to take a few moments before we move into the presentation to remind you about a few of the features of the software. So the presentation today will be lasting for an hour, and you can ask questions at any point throughout the presentation, and you can do that using the Q&A tool at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. So please do submit your questions throughout the session, and we will then try and answer as many of those as we can during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar, which will probably last for 10 to 15 minutes. If we don't get around to your questions, the team from Catalent will be in touch with you as soon as they can. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over now to Stephen to open up the presentation. So Stephen, you should be able to introduce yourself to the audience, and if you click on the screen and use your arrows, take control.
Okay, good morning. I hope you can hear me. My name is Stephen Tyndall. I'm based in Somerset, New Jersey. My presentation today is around the fastest path to market using the softgel development program. This is a good way of saving money.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, guys. And I just want to try and fit in one more question before we wrap up for the day that covers something slightly different to the others. In terms of delivery volumes, what's the maximum fill volume for the Optigel soft capsules, and what's the optimum fill volume?
Okay, well, maximum volume is the same as soft gelatin capsules. So, you know, we have filled at 1 and 1.2 grams. Typically, we wouldn't go above that for pharmaceutical products, obviously. And the optimum volume will very much depend on the nature of the fill formulation and the intended application. And so there is not one optimum volume.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for that. And with that, we've sort of come to the end of our hour. So to answer again for the other audience members that are asking it, both the presentation and the slides will be made available shortly, and they'll be available both through Catalent and through us as well at www.business-review-webinars.com. So thank you very much to you, Stephen, Norman, and Julian for presenting, and thank you very much to Catalent for hosting the session as well. Do keep up with us, as Norman mentioned earlier, and Stephen as well. There are sessions coming up from Catalent very shortly, which will cover off a number of the different offerings coming from Catalent at the moment. So please do keep in touch with us to view those sessions, and you can keep in touch with us on Twitter at BR Webinars, as well as Catalent, to see the updates on those. And unless the team from Catalent have got any final thoughts, that'll be the end of our session. Brilliant, wonderful. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.